Hello everybody and welcome to ISpeakSpokeSpoken.com. My name's Dan and today we're going to be looking at something that many people get wrong, including English people themselves, much and many. Okay, when do we use much and when do we use many? It's all linked with countable and uncountable nouns. Okay, when you know how to do this properly, your English will sound a lot more natural and a lot more advanced. And when I say that English people themselves get this wrong, I'm not lying. Even my own kids, and I have to tell them all the time, when they're wrong, use much when they should use many, and many when they should use much. And it's not just people learning English, it's also English people themselves. So let's have a look and work out when we use them and how we use them. So it's, like I said, all connected to countable and uncountable nouns, all right? So how do we recognize countable and uncountable nouns? Well, it's quite simple. It's if you can count it or if you can't, countable or uncountable. So much, let's just go back a little bit and have a look at the pronunciation. So much, it's much. And many, like men, many, okay? With this, of course, it's stress on the first, much is only one syllable. So what is a countable noun? Well, a countable noun is an object that can be counted, that you can put into a plural form, okay? So for example, we have here dog, dogs. One dog, three dogs. So you would use how many, or there are many dogs. How many dogs do you have, okay? Idea, ideas, okay? Idea, I have a good idea. How many ideas do you have? I have many ideas. Okay, so you can count it. You use many, okay? Right then, window, windows, window, windows. Strength here, win, and then O, window. How many windows does your house have? Okay, so when it's countable, you can count 1, 2, 3. You can use plural form. That's when you use many. All right, so let's go on to the next slide. Okay, so uncountable nouns are for things like substances, concepts, entities, not counted individually, okay? So it's something that you can't count individually and do not have a plural form, all right? Oxygen, how much oxygen is left? You can't say oxygens. You'll have to put in something else. You have to have a unit of measurement in order to make it. So to use them like with many, you would have to say how many molecules of oxygen or something like this. If we're talking about water, for example, how much water, because it's a substance, can't be counted. If you wanted to use many, you'd have to say glasses of water or bottles of water, because these things cannot be pluralized. They cannot be made and they can't be used with many, and they can't be counted. Happiness. Can't say happinesses. That doesn't make sense. Happiness, furniture. Okay? If you wanted to make furniture countable, you'd have to actually either talk about the name of the piece of furniture or say pieces of furniture. So many pieces of furniture. How much furniture do you have? Okay? Information. Again, not countable. Unless you use pieces of information, then it becomes countable. But as soon as it starts to be able to be counted is when you can use many. So next one is money. Money can't be counted unless you're talking about individual coins or notes or currency. So money is how much does it cost, not how many does it cost. Unless you use the name of the currency, euros or dollars or pounds. How many dollars do you have? Yeah, because you can count them, $1, $2, $3. But when you have money in general, it's always much. How much money? Okay? Time, not times. You can't say times. How much time do you have? Okay? If you have a time slot then in your diary, then you can say, I have many time slots. Fine. But again, you have to have a word to make it into something that you can count, because time you can't count. when you talk about it as a complete thing. Okay, so let's expand a little bit on much and many just to see what we can do with it. And we'll work from the examples here. So she collected many shells at the beach. Okay, so in this sense, now, this is a word we have to be careful with. And remember, it's E, okay? So the long sound, E, beach, okay? So she collected many shells at the beach. So we're talking about how many. So it's the fact that there was actually quite a lot. In this sense, many is a large number, so indicating a large number. I have many hobbies, for example, or I have many English books, okay? Let's look at the next example. Many tourists visit the city every year. Many tourists visit the city every year, so large number, okay? How many exercises did you complete? In this sense, so let's make sure we get this correct. Okay. Let's have a look at this. So complete, okay, second part of the word. And this again is our famous schwa, complete. So again, the emphasis here is on the sizes, how many. We're talking about, again, the number, the large number. So how many did you complete? Okay, let's have a look at the next slide. So much with uncountable nouns, okay? So this is the difference from many. And it refers to large amount of something. For example, we're talking about the size of something here. So there isn't much interest in the proposal. So we're saying that the amount of interest is low. There isn't much interest in the proposal. Okay, again, schwa here. And then we have proposal. O sound, proposal. So this schwa actually we see here and we see here. Okay, so yes, there isn't much interest in the proposal. Now, in this sense, we're asking, or we're saying that the amount of interest is small. Interest, uncountable, much is used instead. How much attention do you need? How much attention do you need? Again, the schwa, attention, strength on the second part of the word. How much attention do you need? Again, the question about the amount of how much, which amount do you want? Large or small? Okay, next one. He doesn't spend much energy on trivial matters. He doesn't spend much energy. This is an important word to get right. So, n, schwa again, g, energy. He doesn't spend much energy on trivial matters. Okay, much energy is again the amount of energy. In a negative form, actually, this amount is small. But if we put here, there is much interest in the proposal, without being negative, we're talking about a larger amount. So it's only small amount because of the negative forms. Okay, so how do we use them in context then? If we understand the application of how we use them in full sentences, it makes things a little bit clearer. So many actors auditioned, but there wasn't much talent. So can you see what we're doing here? We're using both in the sentence to show you how you do it in a different way when you have countable and uncountable. So actors, you can count, okay? Talent, you can't count, okay? So for example, many actors auditioned, but there wasn't much talent, all right? Just have a look at this word, so audition, audition. Okay, next example. He has visited many countries, but hasn't learned much about their cultures. So, visited many countries. You can count many countries, of course, 1, 2, 3, and hasn't learned much. So, you can't count learning, all right? So, here we are. This is why we used it. Learned much, he has visited many. Next one. How many pages have you read? Not much content seems to be absorbed. How many pages have you read? Not much content seems to be absorbed. Let's just look at the pronunciation of absorbed first. So we have this ub, then we have the strength, or this zor, bd. Put bd, okay? It's not the case where we have anything in between here. It's just bd, absorbed, all right? Quite a difficult one to get your mouth around, but have a practice. So yes, how many pages have you read? So this is it. How many? And then we have the pages. So this is linked, and of course you can count pages, but not much content. So content again, is something you can't count. There are many solutions to the problem, but much work is still needed to find the best one. Okay, so many solutions, one solution, two solution, three solution. Again, also, you notice that these things have the, let's find another one if we can, actors, yeah. So we have this pluralization, but then here we don't. So how much work? Work cannot be counted. You cannot make it plural as well. So this is why we say much work is needed to find the best one. Okay, I hope this has been useful, because to put them in context where you see both used in the same sentence is actually quite useful to you to understand why it is the way it is. So hopefully that's been useful. Okay, so common mistakes. Common mistakes with much and many. And actually, like I said, English people themselves make these mistakes quite a lot. So it's not just something that people who are learning English do. So incorrect. There are much options to consider. Okay? Because options, we have this pluralization, we can say there are many options to consider. All right? Because you should feel now that it just doesn't feel right. And what will happen is the more you learn, the more you listen, the more you read, you will actually start to feel it here. You know, you won't use the wrong form. People who do use the wrong form are usually around other people who are using the wrong form, and it all becomes normalized. But actually, you'll be fine if you just follow these rules. Okay, incorrect version. How many relaxation did you get over the weekend? Okay, you can't count relaxation. If we were to write relaxation sessions or relaxation minutes, then yeah, okay, we could use many. But with just the word relaxation, we can't. How much relaxation did you get over the weekend? That's how it works. Okay? So, let's have a look at a bit of an interactive exercise to see if we can work out which is the correct word to use. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say the sentence without the word, and you are going to shout the word at your phone, your computer, or whatever you are, and we will try and hear you and put it in here. Okay, so how friends do you have at school? How friends do you have at school? Is it much or many? Okay, I heard that quite loud. Yes? How many? How many friends do you have at school? Okay, number 2. We don't have information on this topic. Yes, we don't have much information on this topic. She didn't eat during lunch. She didn't eat during lunch. It's quite a difficult one, actually. Yes, it's much. Excellent. Okay, last one. How times have you visited this museum? How times have you visited this museum? Correct. Many. How many times have you visited this museum? Okay, so here are a couple more examples. There isn't enthusiasm for the new project. There isn't enthusiasm for the new project. Yes, it's much. There isn't much enthusiasm for the new project. Enthusiasm being something we can't count. Okay, number 7. People know the secret to the magic trick. People know the secret to the magic trick. People can be counted, right? So yes, many. Many people know the secret to the magic trick. Okay, last one. I didn't have difficulty solving the puzzle. I didn't have difficulty solving the puzzle. Difficulty can't be counted, can it? So, much. Didn't have much difficulty solving the puzzle. I think that you will be all right with this. Make sure you get onto the download our slides, take the quiz, go over the video again, look at the slides again, have a go at these things again. Maybe you can practice with a friend. But actually, we've got everything you need here to be able to remember this, and I'm sure from now on you won't have a problem. So how do we incorporate much and many into various sentences? Let's have a look. So they're quite versatile terms in questions and negative constructions. So we have seen a few in the examples, but let's look at a few more. So final examples. How many ingredients do we need for the recipe? Okay, how many ingredients? Again, ingredients being something you can count. There isn't much clarity on the new regulations. Let's have a look at this word clarity. It's You've got the strength on the first part of the word, clarity. Okay, there isn't much clarity on the new regulations. So this clarity word, you can't count clarity. How many steps? Steps can be counted, that's why it's many. Does the process involve? How many steps? Okay, last one. She hasn't shown much interest in the discussions. Interest, again, can't be counted, and we have much here, okay? She hasn't shown much interest in the discussions. That was just to kind of show you a few examples in the negative and in the question form as well. So remember, go back to the slides, have a look, rewatch the video, and after this, I'm sure you'll have absolutely no problems with much and many, countable and uncountable. So have a great time, and we'll see you soon.